Daniel, good evening. Daniel, can you hear me? Hello? Daniel, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Anyway, good evening, everyone. This is Wilhelmina again. I would like to greet you a pleasant good evening, even though we are locked down. Can you hear me now? So I was talking to one of the representative of the buyer. Just a moment, I'm gonna call him back. Anyway, I would like to greet everyone a happy Monday. The time here is 9:12 in the evening. Yeah, can you hear me now, Daniel?
Yes.
Okay. How is lockdown in your end?
Yes, they've locked down the ports. They said they want to lock down for another 2 weeks.
Another 2 weeks. But there is no cargo airline available in your end.
No.
No international flight?
No international flights.
Oh.
Have they opened your place? What about your place?
My place, domestic airlines is open, but no international flight yet. I think I've heard from my contact in Dubai, Air Cargo is operating, Morocco Airlines is open, Algeria Airline is open, but no other international flight yet. They are just observing according to my contact in Dubai. Yeah.
Okay.
Even yeah.
Maybe next month.
I think so because I was talking to my head office in Conakry, Guinea. They're gonna lift the lockdown. I think next month. Yeah.
Okay.
And also in Sierra Leone, they're still locked down, but internal. Some are lifted, some are locked down. So, right.
Sure.
So we are locked down here in Australia for 6 months. My goodness.
Too long.
It's too long, but our government are observing whether they're gonna lift the coronavirus on international flight. But if I cannot travel, I want you to travel in the head office. I will guide you, and I will monitor your movement. Right? Okay.
Are you sure I'm going to be safe?
You are. I can guarantee. Yes. I will ask.
Genuine gold?
Yeah, the genuine. You will not be frustrated. I can guarantee you 100%. Yeah.
And all the documents to travel?
Yes, you will be receiving landing visa, right? Because you are acting on behalf of your buyer. So I'm going to organize all your landing visa. What you have to do, you send me your passport copy so that I could arrange your landing visa. Ben will look after. Ben was in Ghana before, so he would look after. Okay? The people in the office, they speak fluent English, so you don't need to worry. So when you travel, I want you to be online with me every 30 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
And while you are in the office, I want to monitor you because I'm going to give instruction to my head office and you.
Okay.
You will see the.
Send me email today that he's going to send you LOI today.
All right. Okay. So I already sent.
When you said Daniel, I thought maybe sent to you. That was why I was asking you.
No.
If you have received.
I haven't.
He sent me email that he came to. He's in Burkina Faso. He drive through the border to Ghana. So he'll be working on LOI because he's supposed to leave tonight.
Oh, I see.
Morning here. So
Okay.
I'm sure you receive it any moment or when you wake up tomorrow morning.
So there's no rush because you are still locked down. Okay, so there is no rush. So see, he asked me, your buyer asked me a very good deal, and I said to him, as long as you convince us the proof upon your bank statement, there is no impossible. Everything is possible. Yeah.
Okay.
So I only give a very good discount when the buyer showed the proof of fund. Yeah, bank statement. I think he said that he will send it, so there's no problem. I think he's going to invest. He said that he's going to invest in the company. Yeah.
Sure. He told me that he said he's going to do that.
Yeah, and I told him that he start a trial because you don't know us and we don't know you. So he has to build his trust with us. Most of the buyers are jokers. Yeah. I don't deal joker buyer. I don't deal.
Sure, they'll waste your time.
Yeah, there was the buyer from Dubai. He's a joker. He wanted my seller's mining license and business license, and I told him that you need to introduce yourself because I wouldn't release it. I wouldn't release any seller documentation unless the buyer sent a formal letter of intent and passport copy and proof of fund bank statement. Your buyer is real because I already communicated with your buyer. He's real.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Leone is a very serious guy.
Yeah,
so as he has told me he's going to send LOI to you, I'm sure he will do it and give it to you.
So what happened? Why he lost 700,000 before?
Come again?
Why he lost money before? He told me that he lost 700,000 before.
Yes, he told me, but I don't know the amounts because he told me he lost a lot of money. Some people said they were going to give him gold in Ghana and then they did not give him the gold. I don't know what happened, but he told me he lost money, but he didn't tell me the amount. He said how much?
700.
It's a lot of money.
700,000. Almost more than 500,000. Yeah.
Yes. So I told him he should not be scared because when I introduced, when I told him I know you, and I gave him your details, it took like 3 months before he wrote to you because he was scared. And I told him you are a genuine person. So after I sent him your videos and everything, he said, okay, he trusts you now.
Okay. So he asked me the guarantee. Yeah, he asked me your guarantee. I said I can guarantee your Daniel's safety, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need to worry. You're gonna enjoy because Ben was in Ghana before, and I'll give you the story. There was a fellow Ghanaian of yours, and he was following me,
okay.
and he was following me for many years, and accidentally he met Ben. Ben is working in the office, and he was my tour guide. And he went to the office. Okay, he went to the office and in Conakry, and he said, "Madam, I'm in your office." I said, "Really?" And everybody knows you. I said, "Wow, how did you know that?" "I'm in your office." And you know what he said to me? "Madam, your head office giving me 5%, and you are giving on your Facebook is 8%." And I told him it's a good question. Yeah. So it's a good question, and I told him that I only give you extra 3% when I travel with the buyer, and when I do charge my extra service to cover up. Actually, our selling price is less 5%, and he didn't get the gold. Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't get the gold because he lied and he said that he is a buyer, but he is a broker to the buyer just to make sure, to prove that my seller is real, and he's in the office. Yeah.
But didn't the buyer give him authority letter?
No, he wasn't. He just fly together with Ben because Ben has to go back to Conakry because Ben lost his brother, so he went to Ghana in order to attend the funeral. And it's a long story, and I told him, I told you that our selling price is 5%. I'm the one who give 8% because I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
So those.
Why did he want to go behind you?
Well, most of the buyer are like that. Even this guy, just talking to this guy, just few hours ago this morning, he's from Dubai. He's Indian. And he's very demanding to release my seller's information, etc. And I told him I wouldn't release until you introduce yourself properly. Yeah.
Okay.
So most of the buyers are trying to pretend that he is a buyer. I am the boss. I have the power to say yes or no. I am the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why they have to follow you? Why are they trying to? They are greedy. They are greedy people.
Well, the full corporate offer is there. Doesn't matter. Once you receive the letter, you can talk to my head office. There's no problem with that. Even if we send the contract and the confirmation of your buyer's order, he can talk to my head office. I don't have any problem because my head office will tell you, have you spoken to Wilhelmina? Yeah. So I don't have any problem at all because I am appointed. I am the extension. I am the extension virtual office based in Australia. So I'm the one who put everything online. So most of this joker broker, joker buyer, they think they can smart us, but they're greedy.
You know what?
Yeah.
They're greedy, yes, they are greedy.
They're greedy.
Okay.
So
I'm
they're
sure Leonard will send you a LOI today.
oh well, I'm not rushing, but we will see. Just give me the movement of your international flight from Ghana to Conakry.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that.
So
Thank you very
how
much.
long you been knowing me? How many years?
Come again?
How long you know Wilhelmina?
More than 5 years.
Wow, more than 5 years. I don't remember really.
Yes.
I really don't remember.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I remember. I remember I've been talking to you, but most of my buyers didn't want to come to Africa. So then when I was talking to you, you used to come to Ghana.
Yes, I was in Ghana 2014. Yes, I was.
Yes.
I was. Yeah.
Yes. So I used to talk to you. I used to talk to you on WhatsApp.
Oh, really?
One day I was not having credit on my phone, so I used my wife's number. That was when you were asking back later if I was in Dubai, and I said no, this is Daniel.
Oh yeah.
Daniel, if you remember.
Yeah, because there are three Daniel that I was spoken. One Daniel from Kenya, and one Daniel from Cameroon, and one Daniel from Ghana. I said, oh my gosh. I have been spoken at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of this joker buyer. I called him Joker. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you long time. So I told Leonard he should not be afraid. You are genuine. I know you. And even you don't buy from Ghana because of fraud. So he should not worry. And I said, okay.
But
he will let me do everything.
The reason why I fired my seller in Ghana, okay? There is a reason why I fired my seller. So I introduced buyer to a seller in Ghana. I handled, I think, 5 sellers in Ghana. I've been to Ghana, and I met them. But the sellers are small miner, and your government is not helping the seller. Now, the seller is a local miner, but your government is not issuing a permit to export. He has the license to mine, and he has the business registration, but to export is not. He has not been briefed by your government. That is the reason why there's so many buyers fail to get gold in Ghana. Now, I am live today. I'm going to explain it again and again because there's so many joker buyer, right? I call them joker, and I will explain again. Okay? Okay, Daniel. Just a moment, Daniel. You've been disconnected. Okay? Anyway, I'm talking to the representative of the buyer, and he's going to give this gentleman an authority. And this buyer has been deceived. I refrain using deceived. They were being scammed. But anyway, he was being cut off. By the way, I'm going to greet Khan, Alan Tak, and Bongkayo, good evening. Nineta Bolivar, good evening. Monwar Mon, good evening. Sava Lakidos, good evening. Thank you for watching. Jocelyn Vergara, that's it. Thank you for watching. Tris Low, thank you for watching. Tris is my ex-colleague. And those buyer is scared with Wilhelmina. There is a reason why you're scared. You're scared because you are joker. You pretend to be a buyer, but you are not a buyer. Okay, there are two kinds of buyers, isn't it, Trace? There are two kinds of buyers: affluent buyer and a chief buyer. Just like when you buy a property. Trace is watching me. He's my ex-colleague. She's my ex-colleague. We work together in Ipswich, managing Aspire apartment. And we need to know who is the buyer. Okay, Ralph Leonard, good evening. Thank you for watching. Now, this gold business, this is not for you guys. If you're just brokering online, this is not for you. And if you come to my Gold Trade Worldwide page, thinking that, oh, Madam, I have the buyer, how much is my commission? Immediately, I'm going to reject you. First of all, we are now on the social media. I was the one who introduced this. In Australia, we put properties online, just called search engine called realestate.com.au. Trish, when I'm using Trish because she's my ex-colleague in real estate. When she do the listing, she put her picture online, the apartment available that she handled it. Okay, and me too, when I do the listing, I put my picture and my property listing in order for the buyer to see. Now Africa is behind. I was the one who put this. I'm the one who positioning Africa. I went to Africa, 98%, just a moment. Yeah, you were being cut off, Daniel. Yeah, it's okay. I will open the email. If your buyer send me the letter of intent to buy, I will review that and I will send it to the head office. Okay? Because I wouldn't be able to travel because we are locked down for 6 months. So are you can you manage it? You don't need to be scared. You're a gentleman. Hey? Daniel, you're safe. You're safe. 100%. 100% guarantee. Yeah. You will meet the father. I'm going to arrange to meet the son first and then the father. Ben will be look after you and Paul. Yeah. They will Ben will drive you around and Paul is your chaperone because every time I go out I have two guys, one driver and chaperone. Yeah. Oh, you have to spend, you have when you go out you have to spend for the dinner. Because when I was in Conakry and Sierra Leone, I spent for my driver's food. Yeah, you know, just a different. You go to Avenue restaurant. Yeah, or you go in the hotel. The hotel there's a restaurant in the hotel. I will recommend you to stay at a Royal Column Hotel. Yeah, I will give it to you. I will introduce you to the manager, and the manager will give you the discount. Yeah, because when I was there, I was being looked after. It's a 5 stars hotel. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Just type Royal Column, Royal Column Hotel, Royal Column. Yeah, it's across the Central Bank. Yeah, it's a very nice hotel. Everybody knows me on that hotel, from the restaurant to the reception to the manager. Yeah. Yes, I will. I will ask the manager to give you. Yeah, the manager is from Korea. His name is Dennis. Yeah, yeah. But he lived in Australia for many years. That's why when I travel, I always introduce myself. Hi, I'm Mrs. Ford from Australia. So when they heard Australia, oh, you're from Australia. I say, yeah. Even in Avenue Hotel, everybody knows me. Mm. Avenue Restaurant. Yeah, it's a Lebanese restaurant. The food is fabulous. You will love it. My driver said, "Madam, let's go to Avenue Restaurant." I spoil them. Yeah, Royal Column Hotel. Yeah, I will ask the manager to give you a discount. Yeah. Mm. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Daniel, for your call, and I'm live at the moment. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Can have a nice evening. Anyway, I was being interrupted, but anyway, I just want to greet Copy not good evening and Mikando International. Good evening. Now, the reason why you haven't seen Wilhelmina for few days or few weeks because I was really very busy and also we're locked down. The reason why I'm online because I have to answer the question. Okay, there are two kinds of buyer: affluent buyer and cheap buyer. This cheap buyer is float around running and chasing, and they think that they can get this precious item. This precious item is precious, gold and diamond. And if you're asking for CIF or SBLC on escrow, don't bother. In Africa, gold business is cash business. Now you are dealing with a local miner. Local miner have a overhead. They pay their worker, they pay the excavator, they pay their petrol, and they pay their driver. And you as a buyer, as a crook buyer, you think, oh, I want to buy, bring it to Dubai, bring it to my destination. I don't want to pay the gold. No. Why are we going to give you for free? You're buying money to make money, you must remember. The world is on panic right now. Gold can make into jewelry. Gold can make into earrings. Gold can make into wedding ring. So you as a crook buyer, you're asking for nothing. So you are a very sophisticated broker buyer. Why I'm saying sophisticated? Because I've been to Dubai and I interview sophisticated joker buyer. They're asking for CIF. They're asking for LC. You don't have the cash available. You have an asset. You're going to borrow money in the bank using the gold. So I told them, thank you very much. Because to mine itself, it costs money. To mine, it costs, the license is $45,000 just to apply for the license of mining. And you crook buyers, thinking that you can get the profit, yes, you will get the profit when you have the capital. If you don't have a capital, you would not get profit. You wouldn't. Now, there was a buyer from Dubai. If I mention his name, believe me, he's gonna be embarrassed. He said he was chatting with me. He said he owned a restaurant. And he wanted to buy gold for safe haven for him because he said that the world is no longer certain. Correct. The world is no longer certain and he wanted to buy gold for security. And he was asking me about my seller's mining license and business registration. And I told him, I will not release unless you send me your business registration as well, and your importation license, your passport copy, and proof of fund, your bank statement. Exactly when you buy properties. In Dubai, you buy apartment, the agent will ask, how are you able to pay? Have you been to the bank? Isn't it, Trace? Have you been to the bank? Have you been pre-approved? So you will be asked. Okay, just a moment. I'm gonna type. Daniel is arriving. Is coming to Conakry. Okay, Royal Colon. So when you buy an apartment in Dubai, you're gonna be scrutinized by the bank. So buying gold is really very simple when you have the capital. There are so many buyers who has been deceived by a seller. Now there are so many offer online. There are so many offer. They offer you very, very cheap. That is gross. That is going to trap you. But when you arrive on that particular country, it's not the price that you were being given, because there is a taxes, there is a value added tax, there is a royalty. So to us, our selling price is premium. You would not pay taxes because the tax is already on the price. You only pay the shipping cost and insurance. 1% on the shipping cost, and 1% on the insurance. That is the reason why you buyer, crook buyer, say, oh, I want to buy gold, I want to buy CIF. You only can afford to pay the shipping cost. You can only afford to pay the insurance. How about paying the gold? We don't give gold to a stranger. You are buying money, you must remember. When you resell it to your own customer, you can resell it to 0.5% or 1.5%. And we're giving you a discount in order for you to get the profit, handsome profit. But you are also crook. So you are all crook. The buyers in Dubai, they were queuing to see me when I was on Holiday Inn before lockdown. So everybody knows me in Dubai. They're scared of Wilhelmina. I don't know why you're scared of me. I'm not going to harm you. I'm not going to harm your pocket. You will not get gold if you don't have money. You will not get diamond if you don't have money. Now, Mr. Buyer, there's so many offer online, on Facebook, on YouTube. Facebook is an advertising site. I do advertise. So I would like to correct you guys. Facebook is an advertisement site. I position my seller production. I advertise that we have the supply. Okay? We have gold and diamond. So I put everything, the information, the procedure, what necessary export documentation you will get after you pay. You will not get the gold or diamond without export documentation. The Department of Mines will not permit to issue a certificate of export that you paid the products. So it's called that cash inflow. You have to pay that to the seller's bank account in order to reflect that you paid the item. The Ministry of Mines will not certify the seller that you have paid. So if you don't have the money, you will never get gold. Minhand, thank you for watching. Okay, and there's so many buyers, bargainer. The most bargainer are Indian. Indians are notorious to bargain. Why I know? I met a lot of Indian. Okay, and there was an Indian. He come to my hotel. He went to Sierra Leone. He was offered gross. He come to me and he asked me, Madam, I need your advice. I said, why you need my advice? You already been dealing with your seller. And he showed me the invitation and the contract. And he said he can afford to pay 5 kilos. And he has the money. When he arrived, the seller turned him down. He was offered gross. I think he was offered $38,000 gross. And I told him that is gross. The taxes is not included there. So at the end of the day, the price of gold, it would be 45, 46, I told him. And he was encountered disaster. So that is the reason why most of you guys are crook. You want to cut corner. You want to get instant profit. You will get the profit when you have a capital. To start with, you need to have at least $500,000. Okay, because our minimum order is 20 kilos. Now, I'm going to give you the price of today. The price of gold today is 54,128. The price of gold is fluctuate. Now, I am not an agency here. I'm not. Don't ask me, Madam, how much is my profit? No, that's not my business. You will get the profit. You figure out. You're a good trader. Why are you going to ask me, Madam, how much is my profit? I am not here to teach you. We are here to sell. It's up to you to sell it. It's up to you to buy. It's up to you to pay. Now, the price of gold today is 54,128.19. A few days ago, the price was 56. Now it's down. So it fluctuates. So we're giving you 5%, remember? On my previous video. 5% based on the world market. There's a saying, supply and demand determine the price. You are buying money. You are not buying potato here. So you are buying money that you're going to make money. Gold is money. Gold can use to be a currency. So therefore, you need to have a capital. Don't come to Wilhelmina if you are not certain that you can afford to pay. Because I already explained to you live on video, and this video would be linked to YouTube. And click below, subscribe, you will learn, because in this video I will put the full corporate offer called F.C.O. The offer means we have the gold. The offer means carats. The offer means the purity. The offer means is F.O.B, bank to bank. So therefore, you understand that this is not a credit. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you are listening to me, no such broker explaining to you like this. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Most of you, you come to Gold Trade Worldwide page. Reading, I welcome you. But if you don't introduce yourself who you are, I have been rejected hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of buyer, fake buyer. I had rejected because you did not answer the question. The question is, are you a buyer? How long you've been searching for gold? How long you've been dealing with so many joker buyer, joker seller, joker broker? So that is how you fill in the form before I will allow you to access my Gold Trade Worldwide page. Now there is a buyer that I meet in Dubai. He is online, okay, and he's from Middle East. I think he is from Syria. He is right now, but I'm not going to mention his name. And he come to me in the hotel. We were talking. I think I given him 30 minutes, and he said that he's a buyer and he has a company in Dubai. I said, yeah, you have the company in Dubai. And how long you've been searching for gold? And he said he went to Ghana, he purchased gold, but the supply is not enough. I said, I see. And we have the supply. I told him. He came to me face to face. He's watching me right now. But I'm not going to mention his name. So give him 30 minutes. We have a drinks. We have a nice conversation in the hotel. And you know what he said to me? You are very smart, Mrs. Ford. I said, why you say that? I'm smart. You know what you are talking. I said, of course. That's why the seller hired me. And he introduced a lot of things. He said that he has a buyer, a Chinese, putting money into his bank account. I said, that is no problem. You buy on behalf of your customer, Chinese, because Chinese trust you. So you buy gold and then you resell to your customer. And he said to me, I'm scared to travel. And I told him, you don't have any balls, because I'm a woman. I travel by myself. I don't have any security guard. I took the buyer with me. The buyer is happy. Okay, so I told him that I will guarantee you, I will take you to Conakry, Guinea, because my seller have a 7 concession, and he is looking for long-term supply, he said. And middle of my conversation, I can detect him, that he's full of bullshit. And I told him, you know, our conversation is already 30 minutes. I think you have to read first. Go on my Gold Trade Worldwide, listen to the video, and if you think you are able to secure, come back and send a formal letter of intent. And we need to know, I told this guy, he's on live watching me, and I told him, we need to know your business, company business name. If you're acting on behalf of your buyer, we need to know your passport and the proof of fund. Bank statement only. Don't be scared. No one will steal your money. Your money stays in the bank. We only make sure that we are dealing the right person. You know what he said? Madam, what is your role? That is a very good question. My role is to screen you. My role is to reject you. And my role is to advise the seller to proceed or not to proceed. Now, Mr. Buyer, you are here in front of me. You want to buy gold in Sierra Leone? You want to buy gold in Conakry or in Mali? Just go on my Gold Trade Worldwide page. Now, going back to this seller. The seller is a local miner. They have mining license. They have business registration. They are only allowed to mine and they sell it locally, but they wanted to export. Now, you're going to say, oh, I want to know the export license. The exporter would not give his license to you. You're a stranger. The exporter will give the license when you send a formal letter, when you put on contract. The seller will provide his mining license and export license. Why? You as an unscrupulous buyer, you're going to abuse the export license. And then you never know. You might sell that export number. You never know, you might sell the export license. I was talking to John Camara 5 years ago. And he appointed American mandate. His name is Charles from New York. And Charles was handling John Camara. John Camara asked me to handle him. And I said to John, what happened? And I said, Madam, I appointed American broker and we give all his information and he asked advance money to a buyer of $40,000 5 years ago. And I said to John, don't do that. A minute you release your license to your broker are spoiling your name. Now, I am not a broker. I am a seller's authorized mandate to facilitate. Now, I have my seller's mining license. I have my seller's export license. I would never release it unless you prove to us that you are really a buyer. Because the contract has to put the business registrations of the seller and the export license. Now, my seller in Conakry is an exporter and he produced gold in his own concession. Now, if you watch the presentations of Mineral Consulting Group of Company, I done it before I went to Dubai because I was supposed to present them. I was supposed to do the contract, but the buyer fell because I rejected the buyer. And I was not convinced that he is a real buyer. So I said to the buyer, I want you to listen first on Mineral Consulting Group of Company presentation video, and then if you're ready, tell me on the spot. So after he listened to the video presentation, and he said to me, tell your seller to bring gold to Dubai, we will pay up their final assay. You know what I says? And I told him, you know what? Excuse my language. You're a businessman, you know the business. If I'll ask you to bring your product to Australia, and I will pay the product when I arrive in Australia, do you think you're going to give it to me? And that person, I'm not going to mention his name, he was blushed because of my language. You know what I said? You know what? I really don't like to deal bullshit buyer. Because gold is not bullshit. And he was being blushed. I said to him, don't be blushed because I'm really straightforward. You're just wasting my time. That's what I said to this particular buyer in Dubai. There's so many joker buyers, mostly are Indian. Oh, they're Indians, are boastful. Oh, they're bargainer. I went to Souk, downtown Dubai. There's so many Indian on outside the whole street. They're just like a Divisoria in the Philippines. I was born in the Philippines, and they welcome the buyer. Come. There was an Indian, madam, come and see. Come, go on my shop. He's inside. I said, no. So I was inside, the other jewelry. So I know the tactics of buyers. Yeah. Now, Mr. Buyer, if you buy gold to us, you sell it to Dubai, you sell it to Emirates, you sell it to the refinery, of the 1.5 or 2%, and we give you a very good deal, you get the profit, and then you are bargain and bargain and bargain, asking for CIF, asking for escrow. You will never get gold from us if you talk to Wilhelmina. I have to protect my seller because my seller has been losing money. If you lose money, that is your problem. Why? You don't have money. You can only afford to pay the down payment. Now, there was an Indian, again this afternoon. He called me. He said, Madam, I lose money buying gold in Africa. I said, why? Why did you lose money? To bring gold in Dubai, in India, I didn't realize that the tax in India is 17%. I said, you should know that. In Australia, our tax is 10%. We don't have any complaint. And I told them, this Indian guy, most of you are smuggler. His gold was seized in the airport, so therefore he was not being scammed. He wasn't, because the gold leave the country of origin, and then the gold arrived in India. His gold was being seized because that buyer did not declare it properly. So I told him, you were not being scammed. You are negligence. So he lost money. Yeah. And this buyer as well, he lost 700,000 because you were not being guided. Now, Mr. Buyer, I am not a broker. You must remember, I am not an agency. Okay, I am a facilitator. I position the product of African who produce gold and diamond. Now, your eyes is bigger than a dollar, Mr. Buyer. Make sure when you come to Wilhelmina, you have substantial available fund to start with. Now, let's talk about gold and diamond. On gold, our minimum order is 20. I will consider you 10 kilos in Sierra Leone. In Conakry, minimum is 20. Now, I think you already read the full corporate offer on gold. Now, let's talk about diamond. Okay? The diamond, you're gonna inspect in the office of the exporter. Now, the seller owns the stone. The seller is a local miner, and he is registered in the Department of Mines, but he has no license to export. So he is going to use the exporter's license. Now, the stone has to be inspected on the exporter's office. Exactly the same when I was in Sierra Leone. So you inspect, then after the inspection, then the exporter will call the government gemologist. Now, I have two exporter sellers that I can put the buyer, that she's a lady and this another gentleman. Now, when you buy diamond, the seller would not tell you. That is the reason why I was in Sierra Leone, in order for me to witness it with my two eyes. So that's the reason why I am explaining to you, so that when you deal with the other seller, then you're gonna be aware. You are dealing with the local miner. They mine it. They were given a permit, okay? But to export to you, you have to have another exporter. So the seller, the owner of the stone, he will bring the stone to the exporter's office, and you and Wilhelmina will come to the exporter's office to inspect the stone. So the stone stays in the hand of the exporter. So the owner of the stone, he will hand over his stone to the exporter, because he is going to process the Kimberley certificate. Now, the payment must be go to the exporter's account in order to reflect cash inflow. So now, you were given a receipt. Then when the Ministry of Mines will say, oh, where is the receipt of payment? Because the Department of Mines will not issue the permit that he is going to release the KPC, which is Kimberley certificate. So the Department of Mines will certify that the stone is free of blood diamond. So does any seller explain to you? None whatsoever. Wilhelmina is explaining to you right now in front of you. You are a winner. You won a gold lotto. But when I travel with you I do charge my extra service. I've given you free information worth $1 million. You are buying $500,000 here. You're buying $1 million worth of merchandise. If you cannot afford to pay my extra service to accompany you so that you will not be deceived, I refrain using scam, then therefore you cannot afford to pay the merchandise. Very simple. Now, as I've said to you, you are not forcing to pay my extra service. If you want to be successful, if your transaction will be running smoothly, you pay for it. Now you go to your solicitor's office or lawyer's office, consultation you will be paid, isn't it? You will be charged. And you go to the doctor, consultation, you're going to be charged. I go to my local doctor, yeah, I would be charged, but we have bulk billing. The government, because I pay taxes, right? It's bulk billing. So, you use Wilhelmina as your facilitator. Yes, I do charge my extra service in order to accompany you, to cover my airfare, to cover my travel insurance, to cover my hotel accommodation, to cover my spending money. If you cannot afford my extra service, to me you cannot afford to pay the merchandise. I'm telling you. If you cannot afford, you travel, I will organize the landing visa for you. But if there is a problem, don't come back to Wilhelmina. Because I already explained to you. Very thoroughly. I already explained to you that you need Wilhelmina to be with you in order for you to facilitate. Because if there is an issue, I would be there for you. Now, there was a buyer that I took to Sierra Leone. My gosh, he turned into greedy. If I mention his name, my goodness. He was excited, and then after the inspection of the diamond, they don't want to talk to me. He go behind my back. So what happened? He fell. And I told him, oh, where have you been? They go out by themselves and they left me alone. But without them, I also go to my other seller. I meet my other seller and talk to the other exporter. And I went as well to the Department of Mines without knowing with my seller as well. So I am more sharper than a stupid buyer. So now I'm sharing you. You as the buyer, you're greedy. You are greedy. So what happened if you're greedy? You fail. I'll give you an example. I always mention the 12 disciples. Jesus Christ have the 12 disciples. Now I'm going to mention 3 disciples only. Judas, Thomas, and Peter. Judas is the scammer. Why? He betrayed his master. He sold it to his enemy of 17 sterling. And Thomas, he didn't believe that Jesus Christ was resurrected. And then Jesus Christ appeared to Thomas. Thomas, Thomas, blessed are those people who have not seen me and they believe me. And then Peter, he also denied Jesus Christ. Right? Can you hear the rooster 5 o'clock in the morning? Tuk tugawok. That was Peter. Now the three disciples I mentioned, I'll put that on buying merchandise as you do. You are scrupulous. You are also a scammer. You are looking for cheap price, and then you window shop, and then when you meet the seller, and then when Wilhelmina take you, and then you go behind my back. Exactly the same as Judas. So you understand what I'm saying here? And I hope you understand my simple plain English. So I think I already explained to you thoroughly. And if you don't like me, I don't like you either. We have the merchandise. You buy it. My Gold Trade Worldwide page is my online store. I put everything. I will allow you to enter. If you fill in, are you a buyer or what? If you are not answering the question, I will decline you. I had declined several joker buyer. When I look at it and you don't answer, decline. I only allow when the buyer fill in. When you fill in, I look into your Facebook profile, and if I don't see your picture, I would not allow you either. Why? There is a reason. You're scrupulous. You are hiding your face. You are buying $500,000 here. Wilhelmina is not hiding her face. I need to correct your stupidness. I need to correct your greediness, because my seller is real. If I'm not real, I would not show my face. If my seller is not real, my seller would not hire Wilhelmina. My seller been in gold business for many years, run by the family. In Sierra Leone, my seller has been in gold business and I am business for 12 years. He owned the stone. Yeah, my seller owned the stone as well. So I will be the one to know which seller I'm going to put you. Conakry, Mali, and Sierra Leone. Do not travel without invitation. Do not. Do not travel without Wilhelmina. I can guarantee you, you will fail without my vouch. I will vouch you. If you cannot afford, it's okay. You don't need to pay my extra service. But if there is an issue, don't come back to Wilhelmina, hey? But I will monitor your movement. But first of all, before I'm going to close, on Gold Trade Worldwide page, take time to read, take time to listen to the video. The full corporate offer is already available online. If you are working with your buyer, Joe Paul, hi, I know this guy. He's from Spain. And you send a letter of intent to buy. You need to introduce yourself. I would not release my seller's mining license or export license. I would not, unless I'm satisfied with you. First of all, you need to convince us that you're a buyer. Your business license, your importation license, your passport copy, proof of fund. I will believe you're a buyer. Now, there was a buyer in Conakry right now. This morning, the time here is 10 o'clock already. 10 o'clock in the evening. He said, Madam, I'm in Conakry. I said, okay, you're in Conakry. How long you been in Conakry? 3 weeks. Okay. What happened? How did you find Wilhelmina? So, Madam, you're everywhere. I watch your video and I want to come to your office. I said, no. Before you come to the office, you have to introduce yourself first. I will scrutinize you. Then I will organize the driver to take you to the office to come and meet my seller. But you have not introduced yourself. So how long you been in Conakry? 3 weeks, right? Say yes. So therefore, you are not a buyer. You are a broker. Because a real buyer would not stay longer in Africa. The real buyer will only stay 9 days, maximum 9 days. A buyer stays in Africa 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He's not a buyer. He's a broker. He's pretend to be a buyer. So I rejected him. Then last night, there was also a buyer in Sierra Leone. Madam, I saw you on YouTube. Please help me. I said, really? I want to buy rough diamond. Okay. So, where are you coming from? Dubai. Ah, I see. And, Madam, I want to meet your seller. Okay, you will meet the seller, provided you have to introduce yourself first. Why you are on the ground? So you are already on the ground. You can go to the village, bring cash and buy. Yeah, and then you export that, but you don't have a license to export. So you have to use my seller's export license to export to you out of the country, because the Ministry of Mines will not issue the Kimberley certificate. Where is the receipt of payment to reflect that into the seller's account, the exporter's account? We call that cash inflow. But most of you were not being explained by the seller. I was talking to the seller that he come on WhatsApp this morning, and he said, Madam, I watched your video. I'm really impressed. I said, why you were impressed? I am a local miner. I have the gold, and we mined it. I said, really, you have the gold? And then, this business, Madam, for generation to be generation. So, okay. Do you have a mining license? I said, yes, madam, we do, because the Ministry of Mines will not allow us to mine without a permit, which is correct. And he has a business registration. Okay? So are you registered to the Department of Mines? He said, yes, but they don't have a license to export. I said, okay, that is not a problem. So you're going to use the exporter's license in order to export. Because he has only a mining license and business registration. Now, Mr. Bayo, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I feel sorry for you. So, because I've been in Sierra Leone recently before lockdown, so you cannot muck around with Wilhelmina. I am guiding you because you're stupid and you're crooked. Your eyes is bigger than a dollar. You want to get a handsome profit. Fair is fair. This local miner, they're working so hard. You know how much to get the license? Joe, he's a miner. He's from Brazil. He's from Spain. He's with me. He's watching me. He's in Africa. He said to me, Willie, I'm here. I said, yeah, good luck. He's been in Ghana. He's been in Sierra Leone. Yeah, he's watching me. But I only deal buyer who wants to buy from us. I am not dealing with any buyer that doesn't meet the criteria. That is why I position my seller production. The full corporate offer is online. I work for the seller, but I do charge my services. You must remember, I am not giving you for free. I already given you for free. Talking to you here, I'm giving you free already. The full corporate offer is online. But if you are not a buyer, you're not convincing Wilhelmina that you're a buyer to me, you're not a buyer. You're a joker. As I've said to you in the beginning, there are two kinds of buyer. A fluent buyer and a cheap buyer. There's so many cheap buyer asking for CIF, asking for LC, asking for escrow, bring it to Dubai. Yes, we will bring it to Dubai when you pay the products. I have a transaction successful. I don't have any problem with my buyer who buy gold. He paid cash. Now another buyer is coming to the office in Conakry, Guinea. Yeah, he's going to invest into my head office. But because we are locked down for 6 months, I wouldn't be able to travel. But I will monitor the representative because I already talked to the buyer, because the buyer is a big company and he has a business in solar in Africa. He's in Africa right now. His mother is American, his father is Ghanaian. But he doesn't trust Ghana. He doesn't. Can you imagine that? Ghana's gold is coming from border to border. Yes, because the government would not allow you to take their asset without full payment. There's so many sellers wanting to hide. They don't want to remit the royalty. They don't want to pay the value added tax. They want to cut corner. Dealing to dealing, just like a gold laundering, just like money laundering. So I used to be in Ghana. I went to Ghana. I was being screwed. So I have also bad experience. If you have a bad experience, welcome to the club. So I learned my bad experience. That is the reason why I'm very tough. That is the reason why my language is foul sometimes. Especially if you muck around with Wilhelmina, and my language said, please don't bullshitting with Wilhelmina. Yeah. I'm really very tough. I done it purposely because you buyer, your eyes is bigger than a profit. You will get the profit. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. I know the price of gold today. I know. And you're asking big discount. You know how much you're gonna get a profit when you resell it? Huh? $8,000 to $10,000. And I said to my seller when I sit down with my seller in the office, my gosh, this foreigner are crooks. They're sitting down in their ass. Yeah, you have the money, paper money, but my seller is also have the gold, is money. And I said to my seller, don't you know? To mine the gold, because my seller opened his book when I was in Conakry. To mine, to apply for the mining license, it costs $45,000. To hire the workers, it costs money. My seller always send 200 bags of rice to his worker in the mines in the village. And you, as the buyer, asking big discount. I will give you a discount, fair is fair. You resell it to the refinery. I will mention the refinery which my seller already supply. Emirates is our customer. Kaloti, the gold trader, buy gold from us and sell it to Kaloti. The gold trader buy from us and sell it to Emirates. But the gold trader, we give them the discount. So you guys from Dubai, don't bullshit into Wilhelmina. Do not. Isan, thank you for watching. So you guys in Dubai, do not bullshitting. Because I already been to Dubai 3 times. When I travel to Africa, I always stop over in Dubai. And I meet a lot of joker buyer. Oh, I'm a buyer. Bring that to CIF. I said to them, good luck. A minute you mention to me a CIF, I will throw your letter of intent on a wheelie bin. There was a buyer, he owned the shop. He's been following me. So, Mrs. Ford, I know you. I said, yes, I know. How can I help you? Oh, we're running out of supply. I see. He owned the shop. He wanted to buy gold. And he said, bring the gold to my shop. I said, no. I don't know you. You have to travel to build your credibility. You have to travel. If you want a long-term supply, you have to see whom you're dealing with. Yeah? And when I call you on WhatsApp, I want you to open your camera. Because I want to validate you. Joe is here. I know him. We've been talking to him how many years? He used to have a mining site in Ghana. I don't know where he is now. I think he's in Sierra Leone. Yeah, he's watching me right now. Hi, Joe Powell. He's from Spain. Habla español, señor. Buenas noches, señor. So, and his son, he's from Dubai as well. He's Indian from his Dubai. Isan, have you read the full corporate offer? Have you? Have you understood? Montana, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Have you understood what you are reading? Did you read? Did you continue scrolling? Because we have Mali, Conakry, and Sierra Leone. Now, Mr. Baya, in every country, they are very tough. African are very, very hard to deal with. Believe me. I say, oh, Africa is full of scam. You're one of the scammer. Why I say that? You're asking for a cheap price. You're asking for CIF. CIF is stand for cost, insurance, and freight. That is normal. You're gonna insure the gold. That is normal. You have to pay the shipping cost. That is normal. That is called CIF. Cost, insurance, and freight only. But how about paying the merchandise? The owner of the gold will not give his merchandise without payment. Now, Mr. Buyer, I will challenge you. Come with me. I will challenge you, and we will waive the tax for you. We will waive, but you only pay the shipping cost and insurance because you are going to ship it to your destination. Now, we have our own logistic. In Sierra Leone, my seller have his own logistic. Okay? Sierra Leone logistic. And my seller, he has his own in-house export license and logistic. He will ship the gold to Dubai through via Emirates. If you are in Europe, Air France. My seller has been in gold business for 20 years. They were sick and tired. That's why they hired me. They're sick and tired dealing with you guys, joker broker and joker buyer. I call you joker. Why I call you joker? You're not paying attention. You're not reading. You're just excited. Relax. Because you will never get gold if you come to Wilhelmina. Believe me. There was another guy from Canada. He called me late afternoon. He's Chinese. He has an accent. He said, Madam, you're everywhere. I said, really? How did you find me? And he was searching gold He has a big buyer in Hong Kong, and they are desperate to get the gold, tons of gold. I said, well, we can supply you, but tell your buyer to introduce himself, to tell your buyer to send a formal letter of intent. You know what this Canadian, he lives in Canada, but he's Chinese. He was impressed. He was been watching my video, and I told him, I would like to invite you to come to Gold Trade Worldwide page and educate your buyer, because I wouldn't believe that your buyer is really serious. Yeah, he's a big company. He's buying tons of gold. I said, maybe your buyer is buying gold bullion. So you can buy gold bullion in the bank because that's already refined. You're buying unrefined. You're buying Dore bar. The refinery knows how to refine into gold bullion. So don't feel confused. Because I know already. Here in Brisbane, there is a refinery here. I walk into the office. Yeah? I was talking to the director. You know me, I'm very resourceful. I introduced myself. Even 92%, the refinery can refine it into 99.99. So you buyers, you are full of bullshit if you say, oh, I want 99.99. You buy refine. You pay 54,128 on refine. That is the reason why we reduce the price, because you're buying unrefined. You got my point here, Mr. Buyer? I think I already explained it to you. So I will not stay longer, and I would like to exit because someone is sending me a message on WhatsApp. Montana, Pasaka, thank you for watching. Isanja, Gary from Dubai, thank you for watching. Joe Paul, thank you for watching. He's from Spain, Bla Español Senior. Okay, and Guppy Nat, thank you for watching. Ralph Leon, thank you for watching. Trish Low, thank you for watching. Jocelyn Vergara, thank you for watching. Sarv Sadikos, thank you for watching. Mr. Moon, thank you for watching. Ninette Bolivar Hosol, thank you for watching. My granddaughter, she's watching. And Alan Tak and Bongkayo, thank you for watching. And Kan Kali, thank you for watching. And good night. Have a pleasant good evening.